One moment. Right, sorry if I'm moving around a bit too much tonight. I've got a bit of a hemorrhoid problem, although not many probably will know about it. But yeah, I've been having a bit of a backside problem over the last 4 days, and it's still giving me a lot of pain. Well, I tried different medications on it. Anyway, just a quick update on the milk detecting. I did get a message from Alan saying that, sorry, he hasn't been out doing milk detecting. I've asked him when he's going to be ready, but he hasn't given me that answer yet. So I don't think it'll be for a little while until the summertime's here properly. But we will get able to do some milk detecting soon. I've not done any on my permission lately because it's still very, very muddy, very wet. And it seems to be giving me a lot of false readings on the coil. And I've tried a couple of different detectors, and all I'm getting is just crap iron, steel, barbed wire, bottle caps, tin, and stuff like that. I'm not really getting anything decent from it. Oh, Jesus. I don't even think a lot of people are actually out milk detecting at the moment, to be honest with you, because this coronavirus. No, I can't remember the chair. The government's stating that there might be a curfew soon anyway. So, if there's going to be a curfew, then not a lot of people are going to be able to get out anyway, because we're going to be stuck indoors all the time. But hopefully I'm going to start doing milk detecting around about the end of April, beginning of May, once the more better summer weather's here, longer daytime. Because as you may know, I'm actually in the process of building myself a little shelter on my permission, which the landowner has given me permission to do anyway. Ron's a great guy, I went up to him one day. I said to everyone, because I'm doing milk detecting, I can't really do much at the moment because it's been pouring down the rain, and all the fields are muddy, and it's always windy and overcast. And this was about 3 months ago, and I said, look, is there any chance I can build myself a little shelter? He goes, yeah, why not? I said, well, I don't want to be taking refuge in the horse buildings all the time, which I've not done anyway. But I said I don't want to be going in the tin sheds where the horses go. That's one thing I don't want to do. So I was just wondering if I can build myself a little shelter. Well, the shelter has actually turned out to be like a little cabin. I'm still actually in a process of doing it at the moment. If you haven't seen my other channel, I'll post the link below in the comments a bit later after I've done a video. So you go and check it out. I'm doing it as a series. I'm on series 1, episode 10 at the moment. I'm hoping to go out Saturday, depending on the weather. I've done the 4 walls practically. I'm on the actual 4th wall, which is the door frame, and I've got to actually make the door yet as well. I've not really done the roof as yet. There is a lot of gaps in the walls which I need to fill in with sticks, and later on mud and straw. The landowner said he'd be able to get me a small one of those haystacks for about 5-6 quid. So I said, well, don't get it just yet. Wait until I finish doing what I'm doing, and then I'll give you the money. And if you can get me one, I'll be grateful. Because he has given me access to water. He's given me quite a lot of wood from his land, and I've also been able to get permission to get wood, down trees from the other permission, which borders on to Ron's. So Tom has given me permission to take wood from there as well. Yeah, so I'm on the fourth wall at the moment. I yet to do the door frame and the actual door, and also the rest of like the actual walls on the front entrance. The back does definitely still need doing. I thought like it'd be okay, but there are gaps there, so I need to do those gaps. I had to extend wall 2 the other day as well because it wasn't out far enough to meet the angle of wall 3. Now wall 3, I put like a little window in there. I'm going to be doing that later to wall 2 because I want view of the left and the right. The back I'm not worried about. I'm not going to do a window frame at the front, I don't think. If I do, then it'd probably be on the door itself. But yeah, I've not done no milk detecting just lately because it's just been really thick of mud up there, and that mud is going to benefit me in one way because I'm going to need some of that for when I go around filling all the gaps up with the mud and the hay when I get hay. So it's either going to be hay or straw anyway. I've been watching a lot of primitive videos on how they've made like shelters, and they've used like brick, mud, clay, hay, straw, grass, and stuff like that. I could have got myself like a small bundle of hay at Tesco's today, but those are like $3.95. I'm thinking, well, why buy one like that when Ron can get me like one of those big ones for around about £6 from where he actually gets his hay for the horses. So I'm going to give him the money possibly next week because that's when I'm going to need it. Even if the mud starts drying up, kind of thing, I can always just still grab it and damp it down and mix the hay in. I won't be doing milk detecting until like the end of April, May anyway, because that's when we're going to get the better time. The summer is going to be longer day times, a lot better weather, and when I do the milk detecting, it can be tiring, after a couple of hours. So at least I can actually have somewhere to go and just make a fire, put the kettle on, have a cup of coffee, cook myself something to eat, which I have been doing at the moment anyway. Well, I have actually started in the process of like making my shelter. I have got like a brick fire pit there, which needs to be sorted out a little bit because I've not constructed that properly. It still needs I'm not going to use concrete. I'm going to use the primitive way, mud and straw to actually kind of bind the bricks together. But I'm not too worried about that at the moment because I want to get the actual structure of the walls all sorted out, the roof sorted out. I'm on a flat roof for now, but later on I might take that down and have like a pointed triangle roof later. I'm not sure yet, so I have to see how it goes. I won't be doing that if I do that until later in the year anyway. Probably around about August, September, October time if I decide to do it. It is quite spacious in there. I've got plenty of room to put some shelves up. I've made myself like a bed bench, so a bed I can sit on it and I can lay on it, and I can actually store stuff inside it as well, which I've been doing over the last couple of sessions. I've made one of those like little flip tray things on the actual bed bench, and I've now been able to like put a padlock on it, just lock up some of the stuff. All my main tools go over to Ron's shed anyway, but there's drinks, nails, hammer, saw, and a few other bits and pieces that I'll leave there because it can be heavy, keep taking stuff back and forwards to the shed all the time. So I started leaving a few more extra bits in the storage at the bed bench. So that also might need doing a little bit. I need to like put a couple of tarps in underneath there. I've bought myself a lot of like bug spray, ant repellent, slugs and snail repellent, and some other kind of repellent, which I'll be using, during the winter time, during the summertime, because that's when all the insects are going to come out and start, probably eating at the wood and, just being a complete pain in the backside. So there is a lot going on at the moment. I've not been sitting on my backside, which I'm doing at the moment. And as I say, I've had a little bit of health problems with my backside. I've been using different kind of medication, and it's still not really doing much. I've just ordered some other medication from Amazon, which will be here tomorrow. They're supposed to because at the moment, it is hemorrhoids I've got. And, when you're sitting down, it's very, sore. It's sometimes itchy, but it also feels like, your backside's on fire, because it's, it really is painful. I've been having to use ice to kind of cool my backside down a bit, would you believe? And that is one of the things they do say, to lower that pain down, and use an ice bag or something here to numb it down. But when you do that, it doesn't take effect until about 10 minutes after you put the ice pack on, because you've got to have the ice pack on for about 15-20 minutes. And when you've taken it off, you've still got the hot, kind of painful sensation, but about 10 minutes later it kind of reacts, and it does cool down your backside a little bit. But when you're moving around and sitting down, you've got to try to find the right comfortable place, because it's still very sore and tender. So I'm just waiting for this stuff to turn up tomorrow, which I ordered today. I can't remember what it's called, but I did buy some other stuff which helps me to pass my bowels and do number 2 a lot easier, which it hasn't really done much today. I've only taken it one dose a day, which you're only supposed to do. Supposed to work with your body for a comfortable relief of constipation. Well, when you have constipation, you're squeezing, and that's what causes your piles turn into hemorrhoids, and hemorrhoids do tend to start bleeding time to time. So, health issues is a bit of an issue at the moment. I did have it the other day when I was up there, but it wasn't as bad. When you're actually doing something, you're taking the concentration of the pain away, because you're concentrating on other stuff, like building and, sawing, and making sure you ain't going to cut your fingers or hit your hand with a hammer, like I have done several times up there. So, when I am up there, I try to focus on what I'm doing and not focus on my goddamn backside, kind of thing. I don't even really sit down. Although Tom said there was a chair there I could have, which I did take. I've been using that, so that's been a bit more comfortable when I do need to sit down. At least I'm not sitting on, a wet, damp floor, or a hardwood kind of thing, because it's one of those fold up fabric chair things. So that's been a big help for me, with my health condition. But as I say, with this virus going around, this COVID-19 coronavirus, apparently more people have died in the UK, and the government is actually thinking about getting people to stay indoors. What's that word for it? Can't think of the word. Where you're confined in your own home and not allowed out for 14 days, which I think is a bloody, a joke, to be honest with you. But I know that they're actually working on, getting people to do medical tests, and they're working on getting thousands of kits ready. But I've not had no notification, no information on where to go and even get a test. I think my son, who I spoke to today, said that there's one over in Croydon, but where in Croydon, I don't know. He said it's It's not like in a hospital. It's like near a building site, and they're using those great big like containers. So it's not a real hospital or anything. You're just going in to a container, 10 minutes, they do a test on you, and that's it. You're back out. And it takes up to like 48 to 62 hours to get some kind of notification back to let you know if you're okay or if you had the virus or whatever. Yeah, and not only that, it's been bloody difficult trying to get, resources. People have just gone out and bought so much stuff, rush panic buys. It's just damn all ridiculous. Every time you go into a shopping centre, the shelves are all empty. You can't get nothing, which is bloody all ridiculous because, I know a lot of these people are doing these rush buys are probably small businesses and they're buying them to sell them in their own shop to make a bloody profit. And if it ain't that, it's people where they're so concerned that, that they might be confined in their own homes. They don't know how long they're going to be confined for. And they're just buying, anything and everything off the shelves. Last two visits I've been to Lidl's twice. No toilet rolls, no hand cleansing, antibiotic kind of like antiseptic kind of cleaning stuff. No wipes, no tissues, nothing. And that ain't just Lidl's. I went to Tesco's today. Same thing with them. All their, shelves were completely empty of toilet rolls, wipes, and certain medication and hand cleansing lotions, completely wiped out. And twice I've been to Poundland, and twice I've been sold out of everything. I was lucky enough to get some napkins today, though. I did pick up a couple of packets. I could have bought a lot more, but I don't really need that much, to be honest with you. Although I do get constipation and have hemorrhoids. I'll be honest with you, I've got 13 toilet rolls, I think. No, 6, 12. I think I've got about 14 toilet rolls. I did manage to get myself some kitchen towel, so I could use that so I can easily back up. I also bought 2 packets of 100 napkins today, and the medication for me stools, so I can try to go to the toilet a bit better and not kind of put too much pressure, because if you put too much pressure, that's what causes hemorrhoids, and that's what gives you the pain in your backside. So I'm trying different ways of getting that sorted out. Even certain foods have been sold out. I couldn't get no mushrooms the other day, but I was able to get some today. Certain tins of food are completely sold out. I used to be able to get those tin frankfurters at Poundland or even at Lidl's. They weren't there. Coffee's going down quite a lot. Sugar, there wasn't no sugar at all in Lidl's at all today. I say today, yesterday. What day is it today? Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, Thursday. So yesterday, Wednesday, I'm talking about. I done 3 videos yesterday on my phone of me walking around on each shop, and each shop was sold out with certain things. In Tesco's there was a lot of food, a hell of a lot of food, yeah, but there was certain food that weren't there, kind of thing. Bread was being sold out rather quickly. Meat, there was a lot of meat there, but there weren't certain meat there as well, So Tesco's have actually been hit quite hard. So has Lidl's. Lidl's has been wiped out a couple of times over here. The only things you can get is there is some tin food there, soups and peas and baked beans and curries and stuff like that. You can get biscuits and crisps. Milk was okay there. The bread completely wiped out. Cake section completely wiped out. Some of the vegetables weren't there. I was lucky to get some apples yesterday, for the fibre. But it is mainly more, the toiletries that was completely wiped out. The antibacterial hand cleansing lotion, soap, toilet rolls, wipes, any kind of wipes, um, baby wipes, hand wipes, antibacterial wipes, even wipes, to disinfect your tables and chairs and stuff like that. They were completely gone. So a lot of shopping centres have been really hit badly with like people just like panic buying. And I've seen a lot of people saying, look, you shouldn't really panic buy. Just go there and like get what you need, because you're stopping other people getting it. Which is true, because there's people older than me, old age pensioners who can't get out and get any of the stuff, and they rely on other people to do it for them. If they can't do it, then they're out. They're completely lost out, haven't they? Really. And I did get a notification on my phone a little while ago that a few more people have died through the coronavirus, but it's people from the age of 59 up to like 78. So it's the elderly who's actually like suffering it mostly, and ending up with a virus and dying. I do see people walking around with masks, trying to protect themselves, or trying to protect other people they've got it. But I'm thinking if they have got it, they should be staying at home anyway. Because only a stupid idiot would go out and like contaminate other people. But when you have got a cold flu virus, and you're trying to make your way to the doctors or the hospital, you're actually passing that virus around, aren't you? Really? I saw several people with masks on today, including Asians as well. I'm not saying that they were trying to pass on the virus. They're probably protecting themselves. So I'm not trying to be racist. Don't think I am, but there was several people walking around with masks on, and to me, I think that's just trying to protect themselves. Because if you have got it, it should be like containing yourself indoors and not going out. That's what the government states anyway. Because if you are walking around with the virus, you're actually contributing possibly to some of the deaths out there. So if you ever got it, fuck's sake, stay indoors. Stop going out and stop passing your germs around. You can actually do online ordering for shopping, but I've also heard that a lot of shopping centres are kind of like fully booked up, and you have to like wait up to like a week until you get your shopping. So if you've got the virus, and it's only you in the household, and you ain't got no one else, try to get a friend or family to do it. Because like my son, for instance, rang me today, and he said, "Oh, Dad, you're all right." I said, "Yeah, I'm all right." He goes, "No, because it's virus. I know that you can't get certain stuff. Do you want anything?" Now, my son actually works in the shopping centre anyway, which is good. And I go, "No, I'm all right. I've got most of the stuff." He goes, "Well, if you need toilet rolls or wipes, let me know, because I might be able to get it for you." But any of you able to get it, I'll be a bit worried about him actually coming over. Not that I've got the virus, but if someone's on the bus with the virus when he gets it, I'll probably end up feeling guilty for it. But they do say at the moment the virus isn't really attacking, the younger generation or the middle age. It's more the elderly, people with like heart conditions, lung condition. I think they said people with certain types of cancer. It's definitely attacking the older generations, like from like 70 onwards. And as I say, like they did say on the news, which I've got, that about another 6 cases were, I think it was about 6 that they recorded that died, and most of them was like elderly people. So, no, and I don't think the government is really worried about it, to be honest with you. They're not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. But that's my fault, actually. That's why I think about it. Um, There's a lot of people worried about, the stock shares and stuff like that more than anything else, especially like businesses and companies and, you know, that kind of stuff. They are working on certain things, the government, yeah, but they're not working on trying to get the relief and trying to get people to look after the elderly and trying to like get, the elderly like provisions through to them, because I've not heard anything from them. I know they're trying to get more people who have actually not worked in the NHS, like elderly people who's like retired. I know they're trying to get some of the retirees back into help, but my sister, Sandra, she's a nurse, and she's not heard anything about the extra help they're going to get, and she works with elderly people. So I think they're just concentrating on certain things at the moment, the government. I'm not even hard, but I know there is stuff on there about the NHS and the health services trying to do certain things for like some particular people and organisations, stuff like that. But I've not even seen nothing around about how they can like help nurses and give the nurses that extra protection. So I hope they might consider about doing that a bit later. It's never too late, to do something now, then not do it at all. But because this virus is going around, they might actually put a curfew, so no one's going to be able to get out. And I want to be able to get out and do my own bloody base building, and I don't think Ron would be able to get out and actually feed his horses, kind of thing. So what are they going to do about people who own farms, animal farms and normal farms? How are they going to get out and harvest their, wheat, corn, vegetables? How are they going to get out and, feed their animals if everyone's going to be curfewed? I'm not saying that we are going to get curfewed. I was thinking about it. I don't know if they're going to be thinking about certain parts of the country, or if they're going to put a nationwide curfew. And if they do nationwide, throughout the whole of UK, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, I don't think it's going to work. You're going to have riots, and they was actually talking about riots not long ago as well. Are the government, going to be ready for riots? Are they going to have enough like uniformed officers, soldiers, military, to like tackle riots if it ever happens? And I reckon this virus could last up to about a year, kind of thing. So, are they going to curfew us for a year? How are we going to get our food and shopping? How are we going to pay our bills and stuff, But anyway, enough of that. I've got my own problems to think about, as I say, my own health issues. So, milk detecting won't happen until probably end of April, maybe end of March. No, hang on, January, February, March, April, May time. Yeah, because it's March now, isn't it? So I might not do no milk detecting until the end of April, May time, when when the summer's better, got longer daytimes, a lot drier weather, and it's not so muddy. Because I don't mind a little bit of rain, but when the ground is completely full of mud and you're walking in and you're sinking into that mud, it's no good, because it's giving you false readings on the actual coils. Some people have got high tech, really expensive milk detectors, and they can still go out and get some good stuff. For me, I just decided to give it a knock on the head for now. Wait until the better weather comes through, and then I'll get out. And at least if it does start raining, I have my own little shelter to go to. Stick a kettle on, maybe a cup of coffee, something to eat. And then after I've had a break, I can get back out and do some more milk detecting. So, don't think I've like given it up. I've not given it up. But we just have to wait and see what happens, at the end of April, May time. And if we haven't been all stuck indoors over a curfew because of the virus, some people say, well, a curfew would be a good idea because no one's going to be passing it around.
the government said that the virus is airborne. So if you are stuck indoors and you've got a window open and you're coughing your guts up and you've got the virus, that those germs are going to be carried away into the atmosphere, and it's just going to spread anyway. And I think that's how a lot of countries have got it, through the atmosphere. Anyway, I'm going to go, and cheers watching, and I'll catch you on the next one, whenever that be. Don't know. Towards the end of April, May, maybe. I'll put a link below later after this to my other channel. So if you want to catch up with me on my other channel, see what I've been up to, then the video, the link will be below. All right. Cheers.